I talk to everyone. Because conversation is the most powerful thing today. I don't whitewash anything. I don't humiliate people. I don't run away from tough topics, but I don't live only for them either. It doesn't matter if someone is a politician, an artist, or a businessman. Everyone who appears on Total TV plays by the same rules. Today you might hear someone you love. Tomorrow, someone you can't stand. And I do everything I can so you truly get to know that person. Hello, I'm Umer Shahzad, founder of US Tax Expert. Join me on Total TV as I share how we help businesses and families with taxes using the latest solutions. Watch the live interview Wednesday. Umer Shahzad is an IRS agent who uses his expertise to assist individuals and corporations. Andy Babala host is a CEO of Pure Experts, a provider of amazing new solutions for entrepreneurs.
Great. Thank you, Sal. So today we are featuring Umer Shahzad, who is a certified public accountant, as well as a global entrepreneur, because we started having great conversations about his business, his path, and really how he serves others. So today we are introducing Umer Shahzad. And Umer, let us know how long you've been in the United States. What is your journey? And I really would like us to start with the introduction of Umer, but also your business and your story. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Andy, and thank you for having me. And I really like the word you say, the global entrepreneur. I remember I tried to watch the video of your last interview, and she said the same thing, the global entrepreneur. So I love it. So thank you so much again for having me. So as you said, I'm Umer Shahzad, and I moved in USA in 2020 before COVID. It's a very tragic story. When I moved just after 12 days, there was a lockdown and everything was shut down, and I was not even able to get my social security and driver license. So for more than 2 months, if you remember, we all were stuck at home, and especially me, and people were back home calling me, hey, you reached USA, how is USA? I said, I never experienced because I'm at home. So that was really kind of a crazy thing at that moment, but thanks God we all are out of that now. Back to your question, you said my introduction. So if I talk about myself, so I'm originally from Pakistan, and my background is from the family. I remember there was a time when we were hardly, arranged to the second time food.
Yeah.
I still remember that. And I'm the first person who are, the university graduate. So I still remember.
We're all immigrants, right? So this is a story of life. And I'm glad that you mentioned about COVID. I got so many things. That period of time was very, very critical, and also open up a lot from the technology perspective and the reiterations of the businesses. So that is going to be a really very, very important aspect of everything, because you actually went through it throughout your life. And continue with your background story, because I really would like to learn. And I'm pretty sure our audience members also would like to listen a little bit more how you were able to do it, and the vision that really was in your head, or what your parents passed on to you. Can you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So as I was mentioning the day, I remember I was in 8th grade when first time I made my mind. I heard somebody who said, if you don't have any aim in your life, your life is worthless. So I was just in 8th grade at that moment. So the day I listened this thing, I made my goal. Even we don't even know we can breathe for a second moment or not. But in my eighth grade, I made some planning. I set my goal. First I set my aim, but I have to do before to expire, to leave this world.
Yeah.
So then I divided my aim in small goals and made some strategies like in 5 years where I want to go, and then in every year what I am achieving, to just self-evaluate. So after my 10th grade in Pakistan, usually people are very short-term focus, like they prefer to what they are bringing today at home. So my parents, they actually pushed me to go work somewhere and bring something at home, like the normal Pakistanis, people do. But I confront them at that moment. I said, I want to go to school. My parents, my mother, she said, we can't afford it. How you can do that? I said, no, I will go school and I will work too. And there was a hard moment, 2 days I was on a hunger strike. So, so I said, I will not eat if you will not send me school. Then I still remember one of my aunties, she was living in New York. When she got to know I'm on a hunger strike and my mom, she is dealing like this. So she gave me the first fee to go to school. I still remember, and I always say everywhere, she sent me to college. And she said, okay, if you really want to go to school, I'll support you, go. And that was the first step. She actually helped me, and then afterwards, I started working in a call center, like different cellular companies are here. So as an representative. So in the evening shift, I was working 4 to 12 in a call center. In the morning time, I remember going to the college for my study. So 4 years I did this. Then 1 year, I remember I started my college in 2009, and till 2012, I was working in the call center, and then I promoted as a trainer. Then I moved in a different city, and I completed my college, and then I moved in Rawalpindi in 2012. And then I started a job as a career advisor in a college where they were offering different courses, IT related. And then I was working there 2 years. First year I worked as an admission officer. Then they promoted me as a manager. And then 2 years I worked there. And then I started my next degree because I was started making a good money. So I started. There was a break for 2-3 years for school. Then I started in 2015 my bachelor degree undergrad program. And the same time, I switched my job in a well-reputed college in Pakistan. They were offering kind of same course, CPA. In Pakistan, they call CA, Chartered Accountancy. So I was a course coordinator for the CA. And when I completed my degree, I remember in 2017, they promoted me as a teacher. So then I started working as a business law teacher over there. And during this moment, then I opened up my own college in Pakistan. You can say college or academy where were offering the short course.
I'm sorry, so this is very, very, very important question. So you said that you were teaching others over there as well under your academy?
Okay, so
great. Okay.
Yeah, I was teaching others, and then, I opened a college with 2 of my colleagues. So we opened up a college. It's still there, but I took an exit when I moved here. The college still exists in Pakistan. So that was my first.
All right. Well, that's
first venture. So. This
is fantastic. This is
the second.
I'm so happy.
Sorry, go ahead. I know this is live. Sometime we just, both. Go ahead, please.
No, I just want to make sure that we are really producing and sharing that information with others. So I really think we should go and really serve those people right now, because that's what you see. That's what you did as well with the academy and the school, and that's very important. That individuals that create those opportunities for others. This is the same thing that we are doing with the Pure Experts ecosystem. We're basically bringing talent, and we're bringing professionals to share their stories, to bring people together. And I will wrap it up at the end of our interview specifically about it. But what do you think? Maybe we should start doing a CPA questions and move forward, really talking about, because I would like to do maybe slightly differences, because if someone is in Pakistan and they watching it, right? So maybe you're just gonna do some big conversion between the systems that are in Pakistan, and obviously right now we're in the United States. So that's where most of your clients are, and most of your potentials to earn income through your practice. So let's talk about the practice. Let's talk about really what you're doing, how you are serving people, how you are helping them.
Okay, let me just first correct. I'm becoming CPA. I'm not certified public accountant yet. I qualified from DePaul University this year for my MBA. I got the credit. I'm becoming CPA, not full-time CPA, but I'm licensed and certified agent from the IRS. So I have the authority to file the returns, and I have the authority to deal the clients. But I'm not full-time CPA yet. But we do have CPA in our team where we are working. So the first thing I just want to correct, not to create any confusion for the audience. Like, okay, so we have a diverse.
I appreciate it. This is very important to state that, right? Because we never want to misrepresent. We never want to say something that is not accurate, but always So let's jump in. Let's jump into the questions, because I'm worried that we're not gonna get through many questions if we're not gonna be kind of helping and serving others from that perspective.
So I have a diverse community. Many people who are doing the businesses have clients, small businesses, individuals, even the real estate agents, and different type of audience on daily basis who come to us, and we deal their taxes. We provide them different services, and yeah, please you go ahead for the question.
Yeah, because we really need to kind of unbundle this. It's the education that we want to do with this programming. So really, let's jump into the specific questions, because we need to help people, right? So those that really don't have a W-2 job, they're usually working on a contracts. Can you just explain a difference? What is our benefits? Why people do work for others, and W-2 versus 1099 contracts, plain?
This is a very good question. So firstly, this is a very basic question. Usually people get confused, like, oh, should I work as a W-2 employee or 1099 contractor? So, first, if we talk about the IRS code, it's not about the choice, honestly. It's about the nature of job. If you have a full-time job where you go, I can say 9 to 5, or you work on clock, so then you usually prefer to work on W-2, and you have to work on W-2. On the other sense, if I create a difference on between W2. Let's suppose if I say you have a choice to work in a restaurant, and they offer you, or when we need you, then we will, we will call you to please come on the work. So this is kind of a contractor job, right? You are not working full time there. So in this type of job, yeah, you choose to work as a 1099. But the mainly difference is when you work on W2, your employer pay half of your FICA taxes. And what is FICA taxes? FICA taxes is basically combination of your Social Security tax and your Medicare tax, which is 15.2%. And when you work with your as a W2, half of this amount pay your by your employer, and you pay half.
Yeah.
But as a 1099 contractor, you pay all. So whatever is the FICA tax amount is, you pay from your pocket. And the other benefit could be on W2, if you're working full time, you can get the maybe health insurance benefit, 401k, and some other benefits from your employer. But as a 1099, you can't get these benefits. But on the other side, as a contractor, again, on the first example, you're working in restaurant, they call you when they need you. So you can claim some expenses on your Schedule C, on your self-employment income, like your mileage, And let's suppose if you work as a graphic designer for somebody, and you are working from home. When they need, they give you job. So you work as a 1099, you can claim your subscriptions. If you are working from home, you can claim your home office expenses. So the main difference, I would say the first, the FICA, W2, half you pay, half your employer pay. You can get more benefits, retirement, other things. And 1099, you can claim expenses, home office, mileage, even your phone bill expenses as well.
Excellent. So why, sometimes and many times, W2 employees are, still always owing IRS money after they earn, because the withholding. So let's talk about the withholding of those taxes. How does that work? How that amortizes at the end when you are doing and filing yearly taxes?
Again, it's a good question, because sometimes people call us to ask this question. I'm working on W2, why I owe this much money to the IRS? So the first thing, when you get any job offer letter, they give you a W4 form to fill that out. And if you don't fill that form correctly, you may withhold the wrong amount, or sometime even you don't withhold any amount, because maybe the filing status you are not mentioning the correct, the other income which they ask you on W4 you did not write properly, and some other things. So that's why whenever you are filling W4 form, it's better to consult with your accountant who can help you how to fill that out. Because if you fill wrong W4, at the end of year you can owe more money. Even sometimes people like this year they said, oh, okay, we are owing this much money, okay, increase this amount in next year, and again next year they owe something, and then they again get confused. Oh, I increase my withholding amount, but still why I am owing this much? The reason is because they sometimes ignore other factors. Other factors mean increase in their salary increments and the bonus amount, maybe commission next year they are getting. So they ignore those kind of things. So always whenever you are filling the W4 form, just consider all these factors. This could get end result to refund you something or big money.
So that's why we still see, or obviously there are people on a W2 they are low income, that they are dependent, and they still maybe are not getting that refund because the taxes are a little bit complicated. So how the specific programs and let's talk, most of the families have kids, so child tax credit, let's talk about the differences and how the earned income credit is different versus the child credit that you can get for the family, and the benefits of doing family taxes together as a family as well.
Oh yeah, this year I had kind of same scenario. I had a client. She called me. She said, "Oh, I have very less income this year than the last year, but I did not get anything in refund, and my refund is very low. What's the reason?" So then I explained it's not all about if you have a low income, you will get more refund. Is all about how much your earned income is. So actually the low income earners, make two type of, the tax credits. So the first one is earned income tax credit, which is for low income earners, and the second one is child tax credit. The earned income tax credit is for all low income earners, which is 100% refundable. If you don't owe anything, you can get it back. And the child tax credit, first, if you owe anything, it set off that amount. And if you still have something in withheld, you can get this back as well. So again, back to the question, it's not all about you if you have a low income. If it depends on your condition. If you have kids, you are a low earner, but you still have the earned income as well. So let's suppose if you have just 2-3 thousand, you cannot get this earned income credit, because earned income is basically credit as your refundable credit, which is higher. So you need to have the income to get this refund.
Got it. So let's now go into the question that would maybe help those that are, well, still young, and they are in that time of their life, they're choosing their path, right? And sometimes choosing the path is hard when there are no options. Right now we got so many options, and everything is really available on the internet as well. I'm looking at the YouTube University every day, but you need to be very, very careful what information you're getting from YouTube. So that's why we're trying to serve those that have questions. So for the self-employed individuals, those that are they want to start earning, start going into that the quadrant, right? So from the employment going into the maybe business ownership and investment. So this is let's talk about it. How someone can start, right? For me, real estate was the simplest way to start, but moving money and setting up the strategies, well, you really need to know and have professionals in your corner to let you know how to do it. So that's why the professional advisors like you, well, are quite important. Can you tell somebody that maybe they're thinking about opening up the business, what would be the benefits? And obviously, we're going to go into much more different entity structures in a moment. But let's talk about simple LLC right now, and what would be the benefit for the investors or partnerships. Obviously, it is something that is required to be done legally, ethically, morally. So we really need to ensure that the entity structures are covered as well. And hopefully we're gonna get into differences between the C corp and S corp, but let's start with the LLC.
Okay, so firstly, if somebody is planning to start a business, or already he's or she is working as a self-employed, and now want to register a business. So firstly, if you're working as a employed, you really don't need to register your business. You can work as a sole proprietor. If you need an EIN number, you can simply get the EIN number over the phone from the IRS or from any accountant, so they can help you to get that. But why you register the LLC? The LLC actually create a separate entity. So LLC means the limited liability, company. The why you create it, because it creates it make you separate from your business. So now you and your business, when you register your LLC, two separate entities. They have all the rights like you. They are not like LLC are not human, but it's a separate entity. They are secured by laws like you are secured by laws in USA. So now the LLC debts are the LLC debts, not your debts. Okay, when you register the LLC. So mostly people register LLC to scare themselves and create a differentiate from the liabilities, and then they can claim more legit expenses under their business when they register the LLC, and it creates more, I would say, goodwill in the market, when especially, although still in U.S. market more than 70% people businesses are sole proprietorship business. More than 70. A big market of the U.S. depends on the sole proprietor business.
Yeah, those are all the small businesses that drive the country forward, right? That's needed. That's the human capital that we have in the United States, and it's good. There's also a lot of people that do not know those options, but I think the education in United States is real good, depending on the institution that you go to. However, there is no financial education whatsoever, and obviously taxation plays a big role. Can we just jump into and quickly figure out, also just to give the individuals that are listening to us, S corp? Now, obviously, there are different ways of. So let's do that. Let's go difference between a simple LLC and an S corp, because I think that's gonna help us to guide individuals through that journey of how those different entities are taxed differently.
The LLC, basically there is no tax difference, than the individual tax filing. LLC, when you register LLC, all the taxes go through your personal taxes. So you still file your information through the Schedule C, where you mention your entity, EIN, and all the information. And the tax rates are the same, which are basically your tax rates, because it's going through your personal taxes. But when we talk about the S corp, I would compare the S corp tax rate with the C corp. The C corp tax rates are very high. The C corp is 21% flat tax rate for all businesses if you register as a C corp. And when you register as a S corp, is a small corporation, there is no federal tax on a business income. What happens, your business income actually pass through the K1 schedule to your personal taxes, and then again you pay according to your personal income bracket, whatever you have. In C corp or S corp, if we talk about the state level taxes, of course there is no state taxes for the S corp again. and but there is a very low PPRT, 1.5% tax on state level. And if we talk about the C corp, there is almost 9.5% taxes. If we talk about in Illinois, all states have their different tax rates. In Illinois, 7% is business income tax for C corp, and 1.5% is the PPRT tax, which is actually personal property replacement tax. So the main difference is the tax rate. Very high taxes in the C corp. But if you want to register your business at a, you want to grow and you want to add more than 100 shareholders, then maybe it's better to register C corp. But if you are a small business and your shareholder will be our members will be less than 100, then the S corp is more good for the US residents, because this S corp is only for US residents or citizens, not for the foreigners.
Yeah. So Umer, this weekend I'm going back always to the presentations, and there are several groups that I connected with throughout my life. I've been doing a lot of security and safety through the organizations, but becoming a board certified within that security management was very important to me. But I do have a specific plan to really create a C corp, but the end of this year specifically, to allow for those partnerships and the shares. And I looked at it from my perspective. That is actually gonna save me a lot of money on taxes overall, but it's definitely gonna change how we operate as a business. Let's get into really what you're doing. So in a moment, can you actually go over, before you talk about that certified acceptance agent, I really would like you to take a moment and provide to our audience how individuals can contact you, what's the best phone number, what are your office hours, and or maybe you're gonna say that the best way is to send me an email. Let me know how you work, how you would like individuals to be contacting you, and tell me about your business and the name of the business so we can promote it fully.
Do you want me to speak my business name, or we?
Yes, because we want to make sure that everything is there. So what is the business name? Do you have like a best phone number? How people can reach you?
Yeah, because this is not a paid interview, so I'm not sure I'm allowed to speak my business name or not here. So that's good.
Oh no, don't. This is not an interview that is not gonna create ripple effects for you. So go ahead, share your
Okay.
contact information, and we'll go back in a second.
So right now, I work in. We have 3 offices. So our main headquarters is in Des Plaines. It's a Chicagoland area in USA, and our business name is US Tax Expert. We write with X, not E. And our second office is in Pakistan, Islamabad, and the third one is in London. We have addresses on our website, and if somebody wanna, really contact us, they can go on our website, US Tax Expert, expert with the X, not E, and they can see our telephone numbers and addresses as well. And I can speak up the number for US office is 224-224-0335. And as you said, the certified acceptance agent, CAA, because we are licensed and as a certified acceptance agent, and I work for the IRS for the I-10 applications. So I-10 is basically kind of social security number for the foreigners who are actually planning to do something in USA or filing their tax returns. I always give an example. And somebody who is living in USA, they get married with somebody who is outside the USA. They don't know, and nobody tell them. They can file their joint return, and they can save a penalty of amount. This year, uh, uh, I have a client who is serving in U.S. military. He came to me, W-2 employee. He was uh, he was owing 6,000 something, and I just during the conversation I asked him, "Are you married?" He said, "Yes, I just got married this year." I said, "Where is your wife?" He said, she is in Malaysia." I said, "You can file joint return." He said, "No
Yeah.
way. How I can do that?" I said, "We are certified agent, acceptance agent. I can do that, and because I'm CAA." He said, "Please go ahead." And then I applied for her wife ITIN number. When I filed his joint return, he got a refund of 3,000 something. He was owing 6,000 something. And the right moment he called everybody in his contacts, "Hey, come to him. This guy is so good." And because he was getting a good refund, he saved almost
Yeah.
9,000 amount. And yeah, so mostly people, they don't know if their spouses are not living here, they can file their tax returns even they never ever visited USA. They can then get
Yeah.
their ITIN, and then surprisingly, they can add their names in credit cards because they have the ITIN number, kind of social security, and they can start building their their credit history as well. And once the spouse move here and get the social security number, this ITIN will automatically revoked.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. This is very critical to anybody that didn't had a chance to listen about it.
Mhm.
Let's jump into maybe just very open questions. I know that we have quite a few, and I love to go through them. So let's say those are kind of examples or scenarios. So there's a visitor coming to the US and wins at the casino, win big.
Okay.
Do they file taxes in the US? Do they need to do anything if they are not citizens of the United States at all? I would say no, but let's talk about it.
It's very
So the
interesting.
scenario is
Mhm.
somebody's coming from the other country, they win big. What the taxation or how IRS is looking at it?
Okay, it's a very interesting question, and again, good question. Uh, yes, if somebody is visiting in USA, he or she goes in casino, play something, and win. Basically the gambling money, and so there are two ways. So if the casino is withholding, normally the casinos, they withhold 30% of the amount, and then they transfer the rest of the money, and then they also give a form, tax form 1099, to the winner. And they
Okay.
and if they hold and if that person is from a country which actually signed a treaty with USA to get the exclusion, okay, the tax benefit on tax, this winning money. So what they do, they just file the taxes, okay, and they claim that treaty, and the 30% which was held by the casino, they can get back uh, as a refund money. Again, if they don't have a social security number, they can go through the CAA. They can also go to directly to the IRS office, but sometimes some accountants, they ask them to give the real passport. As a CAA, sorry, not CIA, CAA, we don't keep the original passport. We just scan because we are authorized. We can, just verify their identity, and we can file their return and get back their refund. And the second scenario, I said if they don't withhold, they still need to file their return. There could be additional thing. If somebody lose the money, they'll win and then they lose some money. So they can claim or set off, the lose money up to the extent of the winning amount.
Okay.
So let's suppose if they lose 5,000, they win 10,000. Sorry, they win 15,000. So the 5,000 can be set off with the winning amount. The 10,000 still will be reported on the tax return to file
Got
on.
it. All right.
Mm.
Next question. So, and we covered that a little bit, but let's confirm that because this is important for people to lend clearly for them. So, can non-resident buy U.S. Property and just file taxes? So we covered that, but let's wrap it up so we can move on to the next section.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
With
If even they did not visit USA, they can still buy the property while staying in their back home country. But again, the process is the same through the ITIN, because they, as a US resident, as a US citizen, everything goes through your social security number. But when they are non-resident, they do through their ITIN. So even if they never visited, they can buy property, and they can even rent out that property. We have a couple clients in different countries. They never came here, but they bought the properties and they rented out through some rental companies.
okay, so that's good. Thank you. That's a absolutely most clever answer. That allows them to do so. So, next scenario: U.S. citizen. It's a full-time student whose only activity is trading stocks. How do they file? Do they file? Because I see that a lot of individuals are basically sitting at home and doing trading stocks, and they live from it. How does it work from the taxation perspective?
So are they just doing trading, or do they have any other business as well?
Nothing, nothing else,
Okay.
nothing else, no
Okay.
other businesses. Yeah.
Okay. So if they are just trading, doing trading, if they bought the stock and did not do anything according to the U.S. standards gap, because this is not a realized gain, they don't need to report or file taxes. But if they buy, they are active traders, then they must need to file their tax returns. It
Correct.
happened this year. A lady came to me. She received a letter from IRS for 46,000, and she was literally crying because she said, "Oh, I don't know what's going on. I always file my taxes." But when we checked and we go through the IRS record, we found she never reported her stocks trading. But because you mentioned they are just trading, in this scenario, if their income is going their threshold, definitely they
Mhm.
need to file the taxes. Again, if it's under the threshold, they cannot. But additionally, if they even have a loss, some people ask if they have a loss, do they still need to file? Yes, they still need to file if they even have a loss, and they can get benefit next year, because this capital loss carry forward next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that income threshold for someone who's doing that income is investments or from the capital gains and dividends? How does that work? What is there a threshold? You mentioned about the threshold. Let's talk about is there a number of value
Yeah. So
that
of course, so when I say the income threshold as an individual, single filer is this year was around 15,575. So they are under this income, then they must need to file their taxes. But again, if they are traders, uh, they are not required to file, but we encourage them to file, because if they have even losses, they can give them benefit next year if they make any profit.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the losses right now. So somebody's selling property or land, and they're losing money on it, right? It was that transaction didn't work out. They got into the bad property or deal didn't work out. So how do they report it? But do they get any tax benefits from the loss? And that definitely amortizes with the W-2 jobs. But if let's talk about it. Let's talk about the gains and capital gains as well, how
Okay.
they're offset versus earning income.
Okay. So specifically, if we say the property, if they are selling the property and they have some gain, uh, so or loss, whatever. So if first we need to see what type of property they are selling. This is a primary house. Is this a business use property, or is this the investment property? So all three have their different ways to deal them. If this is a primary house means the resident or the taxpayer is living in this property for at least 2 years in last 5 years. So if he lived 2 years in last 5 years and he sell that property and make any gain, he must need to report on his tax return, but he can get exclusion, which is as a single filer 250,000 and as a joint filer is around 500,000. So this is the gain amount. So they can get this much exclusion when they file their taxes. But if they don't report, I have again a client this year. He was a retired person in 2021. He sold a lot, and but because he sold on loss, so he thought maybe I don't need to report it. He got a letter of 65,000. He came to us when we after figuring out everything, when we filed his taxes, he got a refund of 1,800 something, and he was very happy. But again, you
That's
must
a
need
that's a great job. That's a great job. So this is I see that's what drives you as well, right? As a professional, we really want to help people. We really want to discover this, and I fully understand that every situation is different, right? Everything is custom right now
Mm,
when you are talking and analyzing those situations.
mm,
But I just want to move forward. We are almost done with an hour,
mhm.
and
Oh,
I know
really?
that we didn't go through
I now
Corona.
realize that.
Yes, yes, the time flies.
Yeah.
When you talk and you share your knowledge, it goes very quickly. So, what about like a U.S. citizen that is living abroad,
Mhm.
so expat with no U.S. income? Do they file? How that works?
Okay, so if they have any income in outside the USA, yes, they need to file. Although they can get the foreign tax exclusion, uh, which is 100 the 30 130,000 plus, and
Okay.
even if they paid something over there, they can get exclusion. But as you mentioned, no U.S. income, definitely they will not gonna pay up to this amount, but they still need to file their taxes.
Oh, that's great. Well, but that's really what it is. Another scenario. So somebody's living in the U.S. and basically investor, and they're investing and they're buying properties outside of the U.S. So let's say that they got rental properties. Well, I would imagine your situation is similar, like with London, for example.
Mhm,
Let's figure that out.
mhm. So
So they're living in the U.S. How that kind of carries forward to the overall taxation and uh, and how it is really done also at those countries and yeah, where's the amortization? Where are you losing money if
okay.
something is not done properly?
So you said, yeah, U.S. citizen person who is living here, but he bought rental property in London, right?
Yes.
Yes. So in this scenario, this property, because he bought as a rental property, it doesn't matter he even bought, outside the USA. Wherever he bought it, he is using as a rental, property, and you know, he must need to file his taxes and report this rental income. But he can also deduct the legitimate expenses on this rental income, which could be the management fee, property taxes, and cleaning fee, this type of things, you know. But the answer is yes, they
Right.
will report that landed property as a rental income.
Absolutely. So that makes sense. What about if somebody actually, so let's talk about this scenario. I just want to go back, just mental note from that expat perspective. Let's say somebody actually buys something in other country, and then they want to move there at some point. From the taxation perspective, I don't think we're gonna have any differences towards the United States or U.S. tax,
So if somebody
right?
bought a property and want to move there permanently.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So in this scenario, again, because this person is a U.S. resident, they are moving. If they are moving, they are living there. So basically, when they will move there, after that date, they, because this property is not is a rental property, this is for their residence, you know. So they, of course, they will not they don't need to report anywhere. So but if they make their
Yes.
any income over there, they must report it. Let's say if half of the year the out the property outside the USA they use for the rental purpose, and half of the year they shifted over, they moved over there, now for the half period they use for the rental purpose, they will pay and report for taxes. And then we will count the days, how many days they live here to get the status of filing, and how many days they lived outside the USA. On the basis of these things, we determine what is the exact status and what deductions we can claim for them.
Sounds good. That's really yeah, perfect. So you always analyze situation. Everybody needs to, well, it's like going to the accountant, doing the CPA work, almost CPA work for individuals. Okay, so let's go and let's try to help people. So somebody is got inherit property in another country, right? So in Germany, they are selling, they moving money to the US. How to do it, bring it legally, how to do it, how to report it. Can we talk about the simple scenario like this?
Okay, so in few words, if I say the inherent property, actually, if it's just inherited, did not sell, you know, then they
Mhm.
don't need to file on their taxes, because they just again, according to the gap, because this is not realized gain, so they don't need to show it. But if they after inheritance they just sold it, so they will take the fair market value the day when the property was transferred to the US person, from that day. And when they sell it, so let's suppose the property was, when the property was transferred, the fair market value was 300,000, and after a year they sold on 400,000. So 100,000 is basically gain. So this 100,000 they will report it uh, on their tax return as a capital
Okay,
gain.
that's yeah, that
Sorry,
makes sense.
you
So
ask me how they can bring that money. So because
yeah,
we are not money transfer, but because this is a legal money, so they can bring through any banking channel. This If they are showing on their tax return, your question is very good in this sense, because our clients sometimes ask us, or we sold that property and we are bringing in USA, can we do that? The first question we ask, did you show on your tax return? Are you planning to show you in your tax return? If yes, then that's completely okay. Just go ahead and bring through any banking channel because you reported on your tax return. But if you did not report it, and then you want to bring this money, that could trigger to the IRS, and then there is another department, FinCEN, which basically monitor the bank accounts. If you have any money in foreign bank accounts anytime during the year more than 10,000, you also need uh, to the FinCEN FBAR, uh, and two type of reportings.
Yeah, so can you dig deeper into the FinCEN? Was that changed recently, like within the last 3 years, or that code is not changed?
So FinCEN changed few things, especially they change, they monitor all the money transactions things, especially the foreign related or any, the company directors and ownership, they monitor these things. So FinCEN basically monitor all the transactions on foreign bank accounts, and if during the year, you own any bank account, you own any assets in foreign country, and you don't actually show to the IRS, you can get heavy penalties. Sometimes people come to us, they said, oh, I never showed because nobody told me I need to do this. Is there any problem? Yes, if intentionally you don't do this, you pay heavy penalties. But if nobody told you, we can give this reason to the IRS, and we can your accountant can file your all years. But it's good to report, because if you do that, this money is legal, you can bring any time in USA.
But just to resolve it, the bringing money creates taxes, right? There will be something that they will need to be paying to our IRS anyway.
No, I will not say that. Just bringing money is not taxes. So if you are bringing money, maybe your dad is giving you sport, or your brother is living there, he want to help you for something. So bringing money is not mean you need to pay taxes. But
Okay.
because if you are bringing a big amount and you don't have a justification, the justification means, like, let's suppose you are bringing 50,000 and you say, my brother gave me taxes. Maybe the institutions, they can go deeper, and they can ask you to provide all the documents or proofs, like what your brother does, what type of money he has, how he made this money, and why he is giving you gifts. So they can go deeper, and this can trigger. But if, again, this is, as you said in beginning, you get a property inheritance, and you sold that out, and then you reported on your tax return, and now you're bringing this money. So actually you are not paying taxes on bringing them up. You are only reporting on your tax return, and you paying taxes on your gain, what you showed on your tax return.
Thank you for clearing this fully. So can a foreigner register a U.S. company without visiting here? And we covered that at the very beginning. But do you help with that?
Of course we do. We have multiple clients. We have in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Singapore, different countries who never ever came here. They are doing multiple businesses, some rental properties, some e-commerce, some doing import export, so surgical instrument, etc., etc. So they never came here. Yes, we can help them to register their companies.
All right, this is a next question is quite extreme, but this is a scenario. So, U.S. citizen moves abroad permanently, gives up U.S. residence. They are done paying U.S. taxes at that point. I would imagine.
It's a good question. It happens actually. Uber, the Uber owner, like a giant co-owner, he gave up the U.S. citizen, and he probably moved in Portugal or somewhere, and he saved more than
Okay.
$86 million. So so it's an interesting story. So your status get changed, but you still need to file taxes. You get
Okay.
as you know you gave up nationality. You are making money here, with a different status. You will file taxes. But if you just showed I'm not resident of US, so gave up and resident, two different things. So if the person is living here, and he said I rather prefer to be a citizen in another country than USA, so they can their tax rate, and then they can get some exclusions. So this
Okay.
is totally different scenario.
It is absolutely different scenario, but we need to cover this from many different angles to show that well, that's why you are an expert, right? That's why you are covering this with others, and you are sharing that knowledge with our audience right now. So another quick scenario, but own a business, and you sell or close it during the year. Well, you definitely need to file, but how that works when the companies are closing, when the companies maybe actually going to the bankruptcy, and really, what would be your advice to the business owners about the cash flow to ensure they will not ever have to close the doors?
100%. This is so important question, because sometimes people, when they sell their business and they are trying to take the exit, they thought, oh, okay, we are closing business, we don't need to do anything. But they don't know behind the story. They have a transition of their filings, where they were showing what assets they have, what this business doing in the past. So whenever you or anybody close any business or sell any business, as let's suppose if they sell during the year, they must file the partial tax return. If they close at the end of year or transfer end of the year, again they file the final tax return, where they show and wind up all their assets, how they are disposing of. The biggest mistake we see, people when they go to unprofessional accountants, they don't report correctly their assets on their balance sheet. That's the biggest
Hmm.
mistake. IRS require, when your gross income goes beyond 250,000, you must complete your balance sheet. But I saw many accountants, they are not doing so. So whenever you are filing your tax return, or anybody, so I would suggest, must see this thing. You are putting your assets correctly on your balance sheet, and when you close or wind up, properly dispose them off, because if you don't do that, you can get a surprise from the IRS through some love letters.
Okay. Do you do for your clients? Do you do like a like monthly reconciliations for them, or that's not your kind of
Um,
part of the advice?
we do the the bookkeeping. In our team, we even have a CFA. This is the biggest certification in finance, certified financial analyst. We have in our team who actually manage the financial portfolio of our clients. So this is on a high end level, but on the low level, we do for small businesses the bookkeeping. We also manage their day-to-day cash flows as well.
Okay. And just from your business ownership perspective, what are your ideal clients because trying to serve everybody. Uh, are you specializing specifically, maybe real estate? Because that's where I am at, and I'm really gonna be rebuilding some of the stuff from the real estate perspective. I'm a broker.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm an investor, but the most important thing for me always was that cash flow and going into from active income to more passive income through the investments. But how would you be able to help somebody that, well, maybe at the moment does not have even money to pay the IRS? Let's say they owe $50,000, but they cannot pay right now. What kind of options you would work with them? How would you work even with them to kind of reduce that, possibly get it done within some period of time, get on some payment plans? How does it work with the IRS and specifically if somebody just doesn't have that money at the moment?
So, because we have a diverse team. We have people from different backgrounds who are actually working in their areas. So our clientele is also diverse. So, but if you specifically you ask me, we have many clients. Mostly we have from real estate and restaurant business, and we do have e-commerce, and
Okay.
retail stores. These are our major retail client, the major clientele. And yes, the other part of question, as you mentioned, or you asked about, do we help if they have a big amount of liabilities? Yes, we do. We do in different ways. So we can get CNC, basically, which is CNC status is, for the time being, we get some we gain some time from the IRS if somebody is not right that moment in position to pay the liabilities. So on the behalf of client, our firm can represent before the IRS and can gain some more time. And the second option we can use is make the payment plan for the client. And the third could be potentially
Yeah.
if they go in the offer and compromise. Offer and compromise means a person who is really broke, he is not in position to pay, and his current situation is not letting him pay the liability or cover the liability. So we go in negotiation with the IRS on the behalf of client, and we get some rebate, and get some like um, kind of, you can say, discount, and they pay a less
Mhm.
amount instead of the full amount to the IRS.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing this. This is critical for many. So, what I'm saying, Umer is available to help, but Umer, can you tell me how you are trying to keep peace in your office as well? So you are not bombarded with the repeated questions, but I think that's what you do anyway. That's the patience that we have as a professionals to work and show others the path. So can you help taxpayer maybe reduce or I'm not gonna say forgive their IRS tax liability, but there are those specific programs that you can engage with individuals, so you can walk them through specifically how that needs to be done with the IRS, right?
So, as a taxpayer, as a tax accountant, to the taxpayers, I would advise the firstly, don't always wait for the last moment. Always go earlier to your accountant, and discuss your situation. And the second is always try to manage your cash. And the
Okay.
bigger level, we say the wealth management. but on the day-to-day level, we say try to manage your cash, because the cash management is so important. This could be done through your family member. Maybe your wife is so good in managing things. Your husband is so good to managing cash. Maybe your parents, your siblings. So this could be anyone. And if you don't have anyone, then of course we are available. So you can reach us, so we can help you to manage your things. This is the biggest mistake. Sometimes, it's not important to show profit on your books. Then it's important to show management in your cash flow. So the cash
Okay. Yeah.
management is most important than the profit.
So I'm not gonna be doing this, but I got plenty of books over here on the shelves. I always wanted to pick up a theme and a book. So this is a question, outside of the normal scope. What is the best book that you would recommend on taxation? And I think I'm gonna look for mine that you would recommend.
Honestly, there are penalty of books. So this is because the text, basically, I would say the best thing is to go on the IRS website. They have all the codes. If you have any problem, because sometimes the books give you general scenarios. This is good to understand. But if you want to learn about taxes, or you are confused about the taxes, the best thing is go to the IRS website and read their code, what they are saying specifically about this situation, because this is the final wording which we can use in real life.
And that's what we do in our organization as well. We got policies, we got guardrails, and everything is controlled. So the source is always the best. So I do agree with that. Can you tell me a little bit more? We covered a lot of services that you offer. Is there anything else that you would like to mention? How you work with the clients, and where I hope that you will be able to make it to our seminar in middle of the month. So on a day 2, I will have. I'm inviting 2 professors, actually PhDs. We'll be talking about the psychology of money and investments as well, and really the threats that are happening for to those that really not having a chance to dive deeper. What I'm saying, the next within the next few months, we'll have absolutely fantastic opportunities from that perspective to show somebody how they can also go to that source, but we can create a community specifically for you, so you can actually cover that and serve your partners, not really partners, your clients at the even higher level. And that is something that I will be fully explaining during the next 3-day event that we are doing. So are there any other services that you offer? And I think you mentioned about how big is your team right now, because the training that I am doing is really training the trainer from the AI deployment perspective, and really doing business process improvements with the technology, and we got specific path to accomplish that. But the most important aspect of this is to be sharing and giving that information to your employees as well, so you keep up with the communication. How do you work with your team? Because I assume you are also working with the remote team.
Yeah. So yeah, mostly my team members are remotely, especially as you mentioned in the beginning. After the COVID, we we got this opportunity. So yeah, we have CPAs in our team. We have 2 CPAs, and then I'm becoming CPA. I'm certified acceptance agent, and I have some other accounting certifications as well. And as I said, I did MBA in taxation and finance recently. And then I have CFA, and they all mostly are remote. What we do, we prefer to take clients through the appointments. So all our bookkeeping head is different, our payroll person is different, and then our the taxation person, including me, we have a 3 persons different team. So our audit representation person is different. So what we do, what type of client we have, we let our team member to deal that person. So mostly are the remote. If any client they require, so whoever is in the same city, we arrange the meeting for clients, so they they can meet. Otherwise, we just request them if they can do the remotely. And yeah, this is a fun, and this create more convenience for all of us, to remote work remotely.
That so let me just give you my perspective on a remote work and what I call work-life integration, right?
Mm,
I had so many jobs throughout my life as well, but the career
mhm.
if we're in a specific industries is always something that you should stay in for a while. I've been privileged to hear the words from Warren Buffett, and what he was always remain wanted to convey that even to the managers, to the employees, he was always repeating, think like an owner and act like an owner. So do you have any specific advice to close our show today? Any advice to the listeners that you would like to just give them a good wish and a motivation to call you, engage with you, and find out how you can actually help them with their businesses. And I think it's life, it's everything together, because you need to have everything set up correctly. And with your education, with your practice, well, you can serve those individuals. So, any last advice for today, Umer?
Yeah, in general perspective, I would say think bigger, uh, and always make your aims higher. And in tax perspective, do your cash management. That's so important, because if you are good in cash management, and you know how to grow, and if you don't know how to manage your wealth, that can end up with a disaster. So always
Yeah, absolutely.
learn how to manage your books.
Thank you, and there are plenty of resources, right? What I'm gonna try to create for you, Omar, as well is basically a community. So it's really a way that you will be able to serve those individuals that really want to listen to you. And already for your current clients, I think I'm gonna give you some other solutions. But for that, I truly invite you to that August event because everything is gonna kick off from there. And I'm looking forward to the next conversation and hopefully doing some work specifically from the perspective of media production and education. We're going to be doing a lot of workshops on a daily basis as well on a weekly basis. So right now, the Total TV is really running great interviews. We're going to be adding more content, but I am also inviting those that are listening to the August event. And Umer, let me know if you will be available also as a panelist and a speaker there. I am building the team right now specifically for the panelists. On a day one, there will be a panel specifically about real estate investments and money management. Day two is focused on a human psychology of money, as well as those differences between employment and investments, or specifically from the business ownership perspective. So it's really a great seminar, mainly for the business owners or those that would like to get into the business ownership, essentially through the academy that we created. So I call it also Abundance Academy, or academy that brings back the information, because we really can provide that training. And not gonna be presenting it right now, but we are sharing way more information about this platform, and everything for me needed to be done legally, ethically, and morally. So at the base of everything that we are doing, we have built an alliance. So alliance is quite purposeful. It's a block by block AI safety and security alliance. So we can do specific analysis improvements, but the consulting practice is also kicking off after the event. So looking forward to the next conversations. Please support Umer, and I'm pretty sure that Umer is gonna give you the best advice for the business owner as well as employees. Wealth of knowledge. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again.
And just to close this off, the Des Plaines office is available. Do you have like open office hours?
Yeah.
Specific hours that you're coming
Yes,
to the office?
Yeah, we are open 9 to 5, but for the foreigners are who actually work 9 to 5, they cannot visit during these hours. On their special request, we can manage our appointments after the office hours as well.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing this, and God bless.
Thank you so much. You have a good day.
God bless USA and Des Plaines, Illinois. Today we play volleyball. Tomorrow we buy gold jewelry.
Tired of being invisible in your local market? Total Wellness Marketing Agency will make your business stand out and get noticed in every community where you operate. If you don't feel confident creating clear, professional, and truly interesting